Domestic violence at an all-time high. So women, when you're leaving a man, don't bother tell him, just run. While Alan Magnus and Aston family man Barret are dead. This is Undiluted News, Mikey Bones reporting. Renowned Jamaican broadcaster Alan Magnus has passed. Magnus spent his entire broadcast career with Radio Jamaica. Alan, who was 80 years old in December, worked with Radio Jamaica for more than 46 years, and he began his media career at Radio Jamaica in 1971 and was part of an elite cast of broadcasters that include Radcliffe Butler, Neville Willoughby, Don Topping, Murray Gard, and Henry Stennett. He retired from his long-running morning show in 2017, but retained a close connection with the station, doing a 5-minute spot twice per week on the show Sunny Side Up, and he was the best early morning radio host ever. Yeah, he used to wake up a lot of Jamaicans whether going to work or school. He was truly a legend in our time. What good Alan. And this follows the news we also got of the passing of Aston family man Barret, the bass guitarist of the Wailers band. The legendary bassist played for reggae icon Bob Marley and the Wailers, Burning Spear, and Augustus Pablo. Julian Marley has won the 2024 Grammy Awards for Best Reggae Album for his album Colors of Royal. The announcement was made during the Grammy premiere ceremony yesterday. Colors of Royal was one of the 5 albums nominated in the category at the 66th Annual Grammy Awards. The other 4 albums nominated were No Destroyer by Burning Spear, Buju Banton's Born for Greatness, Beenie Man Simmer, and Cali Roots Rhythm 2023 by Cali Buds. The Marleys have won the Grammys almost every year since they put in a reggae category. Stephen won 8 times, Siggy won 8 times as well, Damien 3 times, and now Julian won. And don't forget that some of those winning were with the group The Melody Makers, so several more Marleys also won as part of the group. Human skeleton remains were reported found in Chocolate District, Clarendon on Saturday. The remains are believed to be that of 81-year-old Wilbert Gabidan, a farmer from Boghole District in the parish, the police said. Reports are that about 1:30 p.m. residents stumbled upon the remains and called the police. Mr. Gabidan is said to suffer from dementia and usually wander away from home, which he shared with his elderly wife. And he reportedly went missing from his home on November 26 last year, and a report was made at the Frankfield police station by his son, and the remains were identified by his son. A 20-year-old man has been arrested and charged with the stabbing and shooting injuries of a man who was attacked at his home in Chantilly Gardens, Westmoreland last Monday. Charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and wounding with intent is Dashawn Dell of a Chantilly Gardens address in the parish. Reports from the Savlamar police are that about 10 p.m. the man was at home when Dell and another man pounced on him and started stabbing him in the head. The man ran from the house in a bid to save his life but was shot in the arm. He was taken to hospital where he was admitted for treatment. An investigation led to Dell's arrest and charge after he was pointed out during an identification parade. A court date for him is now being finalized. Meanwhile, detectives of the Criminal Investigation Branch, the CIB, have made a major breakthrough in the contract-style killing of 63-year-old paralegal Sandra Risden. Ojo Russell, otherwise called Jerry Stunts, a 30-year-old mechanic of Woodpecker Avenue, Kingston 11, has been charged with murder in the case. Russell was captured by members of the St. Andrew South Police hours after Miss Risden was gunned down inside her vehicle in morning traffic along Washington Boulevard on January 18, and she was shot by men on a motorcycle. Investigators said they are still searching for the second suspect in this case. Meanwhile, a 55-year-old St. Catherine businessman has been arrested and charged following an incident at his home on Wednesday, January 31st. He is Barrington Williams of Parkway North, Passage Fort in Portmore in St. Catherine. Williams has been charged with shooting with intent, assault at common law, unlawful wounding, using a firearm to commit a scheduled offense, and unauthorized possession of firearm and ammunition. And reports from the Portmore police are that about 2:15 p.m., Williams and a relative residing at the same address had an altercation, during which Williams allegedly used his licensed firearm to hit the man to the left side of his face. He allegedly shot at the man as well. A report was made and Williams was arrested and charged. The Manchester police are now appealing to the public for information which can help them to locate 30-year-old Romain Powell, otherwise called Biggs or Romy, who is wanted for the attempted murder of his girlfriend. Powell is from Top Hill in Kendal in Manchester, and it's reported that the woman was at work when she was chopped repeatedly by Powell, who was armed with a machete, and she was admitted in serious condition in hospital. And apparently she wanted to break off the relationship, but he would have none of it. And in another similar case, the man who was the suspect in the killing of his girlfriend, 44-year-old Kamika Haley in Charlestown in St. Anne last week, died on Thursday in hospital. Kevin Shirley, a 36-year-old construction worker, was admitted to the Kingston Public Hospital after he consumed a chemical substance in an attempt to end his life. And it was reported that on January 29, 2 days after Mrs. Haley was found dead, Mr. Shirley went to Higgins Land in the Alexandria area and jumped into a tank after drinking the substance. And he was taken from the tank by the police and taken to the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital and later transferred to KPH. Miss Haley, an attendant at the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital, was found dead inside her home on January 27. And women are now being told that when you're leaving a man, don't bother telling him you're breaking up. Just run as fast as you can and don't look back. On to sports, we have some big news in sports. Aston Jack Warner, the former FIFA vice president, who has been fighting the United States government attempt to extradite him on bribery, money laundering, and other fraud-related charges, on Saturday said that the nightmare brought upon him by that action is now over. Warner made the comment in response to a New York Times report on January 27 of 2024 stating that in September last year, the U.S. Supreme Court and a lower court threw out the conviction of two defendants linked to football corruption. According to the New York Times, the U.S. Supreme Court held that prosecutors in the U.S. overreached their boundaries when they applied the laws of the United States to groups of people, many of them being foreign nationals who allegedly defrauded FIFA, another foreign organization with its headquarters based in Switzerland. He said he and others who spent time in jail are now going to sue the U.S. government for their unlawful arrests and the nightmare that they went through. Premier League, Cavaliers shot past Mount Pleasant and moved back into first place after a 1-0 win over Waterhouse to move to 37 points last night. Mount Pleasant, who was in the lead for several weeks, had a tame 1-all draw with Mullins United, earning only 1 point and is now in second place on 36 points. Portmore also had a 1-all draw with Dunby Hodel and is holding on to the third spot with 35 points. Montego Bay United had a 2-0 win over Vere United to gain 3 points and move into 8th place. Last place Limehall did themselves some good after a 1-0 victory over Treasure Beach, and both teams are now tied on 7 points each. And today we will see Tivoli, who have 31 points, and Annette Gardens with 33. They will lock horns this evening, while Harborview on 16 points and Humble Lions on 18 will play the later game. And don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this station. If you ever miss the news, please go to Jamaican Undiluted News on YouTube. Listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. And that's news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.